These interviews are brought to you in association with Techedia. Jim, how did we lose that, mate?
Typical football, you know, you can feel quite comfortable and suddenly in the space of a couple of minutes you're flat out, and you know, it's a funny old game, is it? You know, we look at the game today on the box of the FA Cup game.
Yeah.
You know, bizarre what goes on there, but you know, coming to this game, obviously we've done our homework, looked over the opposition, haven't played in a couple of weeks, everyone's looking forward to it. We've done our training, which has, you know, stood us in good stead with regards to what we've done this week and last week. You know, we've had a decent enough session Thursday, and you're coming to the game, you're obviously looking forward to it, knowing where the strengths lie of Alfreton. You know, I went to watch them recently against Warrington when we didn't have a game.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got some good players. They're obviously organised. They ask questions of you. There's a lot of balls.
You know what to expect, don't you?
There's a lot of balls going in the box, long throws, etc. But you know, I thought we started okay, but then the goal was poor. You know, I had to look over it again. But again, when I talk about first phase, second phase, third phase, it just looked too easy to get bump, bang fingers in the back of our net, and that was my only real criticism at that time. They got on a couple of times which fizzled out. We had one or two bits. We've obviously got the goal with Marcus to get back on level terms, and I thought we were alright then. We've had over a couple of chances. I think Festus has had a shot that's hit Benno on the line, a header from a corner that's hit Benno on the line, and one or two other little bits, and then, you know, from a corner ourselves we take a 2-1 lead, and you're thinking, great, good half, you know, to bounce back. And you know, I said to them, you got to be men today and stand up and be counted and defend and, you know, do all the ugly stuff. And when I did look against them at Warrington and looked over the clips in midfield, they're probably up there with the best. Being able to get the ball back, they're good on the press, they're good tacklers, they get you know, wellied in, and you know, we went through that at times when we needed to and over it, but every time the ball come in, I thought, yeah, it's quite comfortable, clean.
We did look comfortable.
Our setup was, you know, we went through it on Thursday with regards to how we're going to set up. You know, it worked perfectly well, and sometimes things hinge on one moment, and ultimately, you know, done a fans form, as you know, last night, and one of the things that was dragged up was game management. So on 89, 90 minutes, when you're leading at home 2-1 and looking quite comfortable, and have it right as well, we probably should have been 3 up.
Yeah.
Because we've had you know, another couple of corners where we've headed, and we've had the one-on-one with Tyler. We had the other little bit in the box which we could have done better with potentially, but you know, felt quite comfortable. Yeah, so it's one of them. It's you know, we've cleared that first phase and second phase from I think it was a long throw in, and you know, we've just been caught in possession in the middle of the park, and next thing it's in the back of our net. We'll have to look over it again, but I do remember being right behind it. It seemed to shoot it, hit Harry, and drop perfectly to their lad who's slammed it in. You know, that's the little bit of luck when you are 5 unbeaten at the top end of the pitch that you get. On the other side, we have a big shout for 2 penalties there. We have a shot that hits the post.
Even when we went down, we had 2 chances, didn't we? To come back at it.
Yeah, but again, a game management and mentality. Yeah. You go to 2-2 when you're leading and looking comfortable. You got to compose yourselves, you know, settle down and think, well, you know, if you can't win it, we certainly don't lose it. And that moment when we get the free kick away, I think it was, and the ball goes in our box, ultimately the centre forward slammed it in from a yard out, and you could just smell it coming. That's where we needed, you know, to defend it better. They've gone 4-4-2, they brought the other big lad on up front, and you know, they've loaded in our box, and ultimately we come away in a game that I don't think we deserved, but certainly didn't deserve to lose, but we have, you know, which is hinged on 1 or 2 little critical moments, whether like a game management. It looked like another opportunity on the lead up to, you know, their second, which we did really well, because we said, when they bring their centre halves up for long throws and that, we will hit them on the counter attack, and with a good counter attacking side, and that was another opportunity. I think it was Tyler running clean through. He could have just put it into the space for him to run onto, and you know, as you see in the 89th, 90th minute, when teams are going for the equaliser, they overcommit, throw bodies forward, and next thing you go and get a goal to put the game to bed. But wasn't to be. Really disappointed. There's plenty of positives in there, but we've certainly got to learn from those key moments, because ultimately we've thrown the game away today.
Yeah. Moving away just from the game today, you brought Festus in. It's his first. I knew we brought him a couple of weeks ago, but with lack of football, but he was quite solid today, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He's not playing much football. He's vocal. You know, you can hear him in the dressing room. He can tackle. He can air. He gets his body in. You know, I think he'll only get better. So, been a bit of a problem area. Obviously, I spoke last night about loans, and you know, there's a bit of a transitional period, and you know, with the injuries to Deck and Adam. You know, with Mikey O'Neill went back to Preston because we had to free up a slot for, because you can only have the 5 loans. We had to free up a slot for a defender. You know, Will coming at a difficult time from Blackpool, but obviously finished quite strong with the 4 points in the last 2 games, and I think he went back to Blackpool and got injured. So Festus has come in, you know, decent kid,
big lad, isn't he?
Yeah, knows the game and all. You know, honest lad, and so I'm sure he'll get better. But I think it was a decent performance by him, and probably unlucky not to score as well.
Yeah. The other one we brought in on a permanent basis is Will. Yeah. Will Russ, young lad, but plenty of potential. Yeah,
loads of potential. I thought he did well when he come on.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah.
He's a big, strong lad. You know, he can move as well. His touch was good. He got into some areas. It just looked like he was going to pull the trigger right at the end on the edge of the box, but he just couldn't get it out of his feet, and he ended up passing. But yeah, he's settling in, training well. You know, minutes away from the ground, so you know, a decent enough debut from him. So just gutted that we couldn't get something for them, you know, on the debut. But you know, that's where we're at the minute. It's just a bizarre ending to the game, and you know, it's terrible in the way that we lost the game in the end.
Yeah, well, we've got a Tuesday off this week. It's the last one we'll have until middle of March. We've got a really busy period. Nice long trip to Boston coming up next Saturday. Always difficult to go there, but we have got a reasonable record there. Yeah,
I've just said in a previous interview, anyone's capable of beating anyone else.
Yeah, you can see by the results today.
That's it, and sometimes you just got to find a way of winning, and that's what Alfreton have done today, and that's what we haven't done today. So. You know, it's another tough game. It's on the road. We've been okay on the road. Boston have always been, for me, one of those sides who are fancied. You know, new stadium, etc. You know, so I think they're in decent enough form. So again, it's a week to prepare for it, and you know, we take the positives from today and discuss the negatives and where we can be better. But yeah, we go into a very, very difficult period with the next 5 or 6 weeks. And we're probably going to need a body or two to help us, and you know, we've got 1 or 2 on bookings, etc. So it is a hectic time, but we've got to embrace it. For the crowd were good today, got behind us. I thought the lads give an absolute, you know, proper shift. You know, they look fit, they look strong, they're competitive. You know, so it's not all doom and gloom in that regards, but we can't just keep coming to you and saying, well, we've got to do that better or that better. We haven't been out nous today tactically. We haven't been probably overrun. We haven't been out thought or whatever. On another day we could win the game. It wasn't to be. We lose the game, but we've got to dust ourselves down, because no one feels sorry for you in this game. And if you do feel sorry for yourself, there's always someone waiting to boot you up the behind, and that's what Boston will be looking to do Saturday. So we've got to roll the sleeves up and come out fighting next week and embrace the challenge that lies ahead. But as I say, the crowd were great. We're going to need them right behind us in this spell. So it's a critical month or 6 weeks now with the games coming thick and fast. Need everyone pulling in the right direction. I've told the players that, physically and mentally right, because when you go on that pitch, we want to win more games of football than what we're doing at the minute. So you know, we do that and everyone will be happy. So hopefully that's the case.
Thanks, Jim.
Cheers.